Look closely at a couple attempting to rationally solve a problem in a clinical setting. Beneath the rigid posture and widened eyes is a state of severe autonomic escalation. Professional tradition often labels relational distress as a communication deficit. Under this model, the solution focuses on cognitive tools like active listening, objective analysis, or logical problem solving. The biological reality suggests otherwise. These rational interventions routinely fail because the autonomic nervous system processes these interactions strictly as neuroceptive threat or safety calibrations. The body bypasses logic entirely. We can map this mechanism using the biosanctuary method, or BSM. This framework synthesizes John Gottman's observational relationship data with Stephen Porges's polyvagal theory, translating clinical behavior into nervous system science. Through this lens, the stress-relieving conversation operates as a measurable biological event. Sympathetic arousal requires biological co-regulation. Logical debate becomes ineffective the moment the nervous system prioritizes survival over understanding. Consider a baseline scenario. A partner comes home and presents an externally triggered stress event, a high-stakes conflict with a coworker, to their spouse. This diagram models a spouse responding with objectivity. On the left, logical feedback appears. On the right, the partner's sympathetic tone spikes into a red threshold. This physiological surge accelerates into a mental narrative, the story, embedding a permanent threat tag. I am alone in this. The nervous system does not distinguish between the external workplace threat and the new relational threat. It compounds them, isolating the individual within the relationship. Instructing a highly activated partner to calm down functions as a direct nervous system attack. The command withdraws co-regulation at the exact moment of maximum need, requiring the dysregulated partner to reach a baseline of composure before safety is granted. The specific language used acts as a biological trigger. Asking a partner why frequently triggers sympathetic defensiveness. Conversely, curiosity statements like, "What leads you to think that?" function as ventral vagal invitations, signaling that the partner's experience is safe to explore. Using rational objectivity or demanding calm during emotional flooding forces an isolated nervous system to aggressively increase its sympathetic arousal to ensure it is heard. Relational conflict emerges from asymmetrical autonomic set points. These biological baselines are often misinterpreted as personality flaws. This diagram shows the intimacy-independent style. The left seeker node requires connection. The right bunker node requires autonomy. During stress, their emitted signal waves intersect, turning jagged and red, marking the biological collision of a bid for closeness meeting a bid for space. The seeker misreads the bunker's need for physical space. Because the seeker's dial is set for connection, they process partner distance as relational rejection. Simultaneously, the bunker misreads the seeker's need for immediate closeness. With their dial set for autonomy, the bunker processes this demand as biological suffocation. This dynamic often results in turning away without malice. While a partner may miss a bid due to simple distraction, the nervous system registers this omission with the same intensity as active contempt. The seeker-bunker dynamic represents a collision of valid autonomic survival strategies. The conflict persists because neuroception prioritizes the interaction's outcome over the intent behind it. We can correct this collision by returning to the initial stress event and applying the mechanics of the co-regulation loop. Looking at the physiological tracking graph, watch the biological downregulation when the supportive partner uses an us against others frame. As alliance dialogue is introduced, the red spiking line drops smoothly into a stable, cool blue ventral vagal pathway. This shift requires the practice of bearing witness. The partner translates the speaker's experience into their own words, signaling that the message has been received without attempting to solve the underlying problem. This mechanism is most visible during metaphor translation. If a partner describes a situation as a prison and the spouse reflects back, "So you feel trapped," the two nervous system nodes form a synchronized wave pattern. This is limbic resonance. Reflecting a partner's structural metaphor creates the definitive biological signal that the individual's internal world has been accurately mapped by a safe haven. This cumulative area graph maps how repeated micro-interactions structurally alter a relationship. Over time, successful co-regulation loops stack up to fill a biological safety account. As the cumulative data breaches the threshold, the entire background shifts to a stable blue safety zone. This state is positive sentiment override, the structural neurological output of a filled safety account. In the state of negative sentiment override, the relational ground state is threat. When the safety account is depleted, even neutral behaviors automatically trigger the dysregulation spiral. Maintaining positive sentiment override relies on a single operating principle. When you are in pain, the world stops and I listen. Before a partner can be expected to regulate, the relationship must provide the biological presence that makes regulation possible.